I'm very grateful for the privilege to be sharing with you again this morning. Um, just to track with people who want their life to change, to track with people who want to walk with integrity and honor the Lord and, be strong for their family. What a privilege to speak into your life. And I pray that this will be another foundation of growth for you as we look at what it means to fall forward when we struggle and have fallbacks or whatever, how to fall forward. In other words, learn from those setbacks. And so today I want to talk about relapse recovery. And I use the words fall forward intentionally because that's what I use that many times when I'm talking to couples in marriage counseling. Because when you try to reconnect as a couple, there's hard things that have to be worked through, and you're not going to get it right first. So you're going to have to keep falling forward. You have to keep trying and see if we can improve this. And your first one might be a 5 out of 10. You might actually the next one might be 3 out of 10, and then you might have a 7, and then might go a 4. But you're going to have to keep falling forward and trying these new practical steps to improve your marriage. Well, we want you to learn all you can about this recovery journey in through the teaching time, in through the accountability time, and through your own doing the 12-step program time, but also to learn as much as you can and fall forward from times that you have a setback, where you relapse. Now, for those of you who are, not in a position of feeling the pressure to relapse, be encouraged as we talk through today. Be encouraged and look at how many things are actually in place in your life that are actually strengthening you so that you're not on the verge of collapse or relapse. And so this is designed for all people, not the percentage that might be having a tough week and might be tempted or might be struggling or feel they're on the verge of a relapse or maybe have just relapsed. How to fall forward. So this is for all of us here to look honestly about what is sustaining me so that I know why I have pushed off or pushed out of my world the temptation to do some version of a relapse, fall back from walking in purity and integrity. And for those who actually have a relapse, which we're not coaching to anticipate that's for everybody, but when it does happen, how to fall forward, how to get the most out of this, to learn all we can so that we are better prepared next time. And so this is a talk that would be ideal for people to listen to down the road if they ever do have some kind of relapse. And so I'm going to base this talk on a couple of verses out of Proverbs chapter 28, verses 13 and 14. And you'll see in how we fall forward, how we recover after relapse, that it has a lot of these principles from the scripture here. And I just chose this one passage. There's many that could fit in here. Whoever conceals their sin does not prosper. We'll talk about that. Whoever conceals their sin does not prosper, but whoever confesses and renounces finds mercy. Blessed is the one who always trembles before God, but whoever hardens their heart falls into trouble. So there's this idea of being open, of hiding versus being open and confessing and renouncing these temptations. Just yesterday, one wise man in this group, anybody free to talk, he was having a bit of a struggle, temptation moment for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. The point I want to bring out is high five times 20 for just texting the group saying, hey, anybody got free time to talk for a moment? I happen to be free, and I had a 5-minute call and a prayer time with this brother, and I noticed that someone else in our small group said, hey, I'm free too. And I don't know if they followed up as well, but you see, See, that person there clearly followed the plan, because instead of concealing the temptation and I don't know, I just feel things are churning in a wrong direction. Instead of remaining silent about it, he broke the silence. He can confess the temptation and hadn't done anything wrong, but just felt the momentum building. Well, there is wisdom. Uh, we don't push this enough, but you're supposed to make a call every day to either encourage or be encouraged. Just a quick phone call, leave a message if you have to, but you see, you will never reach out if you're struggling if you never reach out when you're doing well. Because you make a habit of reaching out and connecting with other people just to encourage them. They encourage you to keep going the right direction. We make a habit of connection so that when we're struggling, we actually, okay, I really do need to connect now. It's a good thing I've got, been texting these people and stuff. And so keep in mind that the opposite of addiction is connection. Connection is, daily with your accountability partner, daily with your wingman and daily with your group, as it were, or reaching out whenever you're struggling. And you can't take this addiction lightly, because obviously aspects of the addiction is clearly sinful, as we're lusting after other people. And so the idea is, blessed is the one who always trembles before God, who realizes the awesomeness of God, and God wants something different for our life. And but notice, if you harden your heart and think that you're above being tempted, you're going to fall into trouble. So there's the background for that. And and so you heard me already talk in the introduction about falling forward. Okay, falling forward. We might trip, but we're going to fall forward. We're going to keep going in a good direction, right? So learn all you can about your triggers and your cycles. That's your addiction cycles. Realize that you're battling a very strong foe that who doesn't want to let go of you. The foe being the addiction as well, but we'll see that it's more than just that. We got to learn from our failures. Okay, what was the point of access? That's why we put covenant eyes on things, because if this is a point of access, right? We put something that's going to block us from getting there. I mean, I've covenant eyes on this computer here, mostly because my computer's at home sometime when grandkids are here. They know they can't play with this because this is Jeep's work, but kids can be kids and they want to get on here and play with something. Well, they're not going to accidentally run into anything dark on my computer, because I don't want that to ever happen under my watch. But we need to learn from our failures, learn all we can about how the addiction gets entry into your life, and we need to shut the back door. What was the access point? And that's why, as part of this handout, you'll see there the sexual integrity relapse report, that you can answer questions to learn all you can about what was the access point, and where you never shut the back door. So fall forward, learn all you can from every relapse you may have. Um, and God will give you grace to learn from that and move forward. Number two, break the silence sooner. Remember, addiction power grows in secret. If you break the silence, you'll break the power. The opposite of addiction is connection, and men make men. We grow with other people. And so use your wingmen and break the silence sooner. As the gentleman reached out yesterday in wisdom, when he was feeling tempted or just feeling going in a bad direction, man, I was so proud of him for breaking the silence sooner and reaching out. And what a great thing. Instead of maybe waiting 2 or 3 more days of letting that negative cycle spin, he broke the silence, and hopefully that was a strengthening point in his ongoing freedom. So thirdly, face your demons. What do I mean by that? Well, you need to work to get behind your acting out, as to the why. What's causing you to keep relapsing? What's causing you to stumble? What inner pain is being met? What unresolved pain or hurts What need is being met when you act out? What lie is being believed? Uh, what do you honestly need to face in yourself um, as you face your own demons? This is the soul pain or the soul wounds, and where you get tripped up by your unresolved issues that cause you to go back to the nature of soothing that often comes with the PMO cycle. Number four, it's a double front battle. Double front, if you know the front, there's the Eastern Front, we're battling over here, and the Western Front. There's a double front. It's not just one direction that the battle is. And what do we mean by that? Yes, we're battling the addiction and the grip it has on you and has had on like you since your early teens. That alone is a huge struggle. But you're also battling Satan and his desire to keep you trapped. He doesn't want you to find freedom. He wants to keep you separated from God and from others. Victory is a complicated mix of overcoming these two. And so recognize that the enemy wants to see me tempted, wants to see me go down, wants to see me struggle. It's not just my addiction alone. And so be aware. He is a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. It says that we shouldn't be unaware of his schemes. It says that he's a liar and the father of lies, and he'll in your mind he'll promise things that are not going to be delivered. Um, but you can't just blame the enemy because you have part to play in this. Um, Number five, get on your knees. And I actually mean get on your knees. There's something about humbling yourself. Ask God to break your addiction, admit your sin, know his forgiveness, walk humbly, come as you are to regroup, but don't stay as you are. And I penned this about a year and a half ago, and I see that proud men crash and humble men conquer. Over and over again, I see that there's such truth in this, that the more a man sees his own shortcomings, the more he finds himself humbling himself and seeing a reality of humility, that his inadequacy has made him dependent on God. It says that when we're weak, he is strong because his strength is made perfect in our weakness. A humble man admits that I need Jesus and will surrender to Jesus every day. Proud men think they can do it on their own. They got this figured out. And proud men crash and humble men conquer. So get on your knees as you want to strengthen your recovery and also strengthen your relapse overcoming. Number six, overcome negative emotional reactions. There's a host of them here, but if you start to hear things like this as you talk to yourself or even talk to others, poor me, you feel sorry for yourself, but that doesn't create a turnaround if you just always feel sorry for yourself. Why is I'm still struggling with this, as if it's someone out there making it happen. Too often the addict will blame their spouse or other people. Too often in their trials, they get angry, they lash out, either attack themselves, I hate myself, or I hate other people. They just slide into despair. They want to give up, or they continue to walk in shame and they withdraw from others. But there's a whole host of excuses that delay the hard work that they need to do. Do you know how many people have heard about the 12-step program that we actually challenge all to work through the 12 steps in parallel on your own? But we have teaching videos on how to do every one of the 12 steps. The implication that over the course of a year, you'll do one of the 12 steps every month, that you will do that. You realize how many people make excuses why they don't have that done or aren't doing that? I mean, just the crazy thing is it's 12 steps. It's not 2,000 steps. It's 12. And if you work it through thoroughly, it will strengthen your resolve to maintain freedom. It'll strengthen your integrity sexually. Number seven, own your relapse openly. Uh, frankly, nothing is harder for a spouse if you relapse and then it's 2.5 weeks later that you decide you're going to finally admit that, yeah, a couple of weeks ago I relapsed. Well, what happens is that causes even greater hurt than if you relapse and admitted it within 24 hours, as we ask you to do. 24 hours, you report into your spouse that you've had a relapse. But when you don't tell him or her, because there's women that are listening to this talk this week as well, um, uh, when you don't admit to your partner, your spouse, that you've relapsed, every day that goes by is another day that you chose to lie to them. And they are hurt as much by the lies and the withholding and not being honest as they do by your relapse. So take responsibility. Apologize. Remember the 24-hour rule to tell your spouse and and the one you're closely working with, your wingman, your accountability partner, certainly your counselor if you're working with a counselor. Share it with your accountability team, the people in your small group. So just own your relapse openly. Number 8, grow in empathy. This is really hard because by nature, an addiction pattern is a very, very selfish pattern. It's all about me. We don't think about others. We're not good at empathy as a person who struggles with addiction. We downplay the travesty, the pain we cause other people. And you need to grow in empathy because you've been selfish far too long or for too long and not thought about the others or the implication of your actions on these others. And uh, if you could grow to let the pain that you put others through grip you and realize as well that your catharsis, purging by admission and relief of disclosing, it feels better to be honest and to tell, well, that's really good, but it's renewing the trauma in their life. Yes, you need to do that, but you need to start realizing that my choices are causing pain to other people. My choices are causing pain to other people. Grow in your empathy. And number 9, up your accountability. Reach out before you act out. Perfect example yesterday. I literally had just finished from playing some hockey as part of my fitness program. I play hockey numerous times every week. And I just was getting out of my car after coming from hockey. And I got this text, hey, anybody free for a call? And reach out before you act out. That's what that wise man did. And I happened to see the text, called instantly. I'm standing by my car, talking to him for 5 minutes, praying with him. I noticed another text popped up. I'm free as well. Another guy in our group. And that's the goal. Phone calls, texts, coffees together, whatever will help you prevent the faltering, up your accountability. The opposite of addiction is connection. How many times have you heard that? And yet what we do is we hold back. You need to lean into your small group of 4 to 6 people that you connect with and not just have a wingman that's there, but the men or the people in your small group need to be ones that you are open with in your struggle and open with in your temptation times. And finally, number 10, stop making excuses and just do the program. What I've found is men who are regular to the Tuesday morning and don't miss, rather than intermittent attendance. They were here for a couple of weeks and they missed for about 3, then they're back for 1, then they missed 1, then they're back for 2. Well, that's good because you're going to get some help, but there's something about being consistent. Fight for freedom with great abandon. Do the step work, the 12-step program, the final freedom. Learn all you can about addiction. Learn all you can about your dark side. Do the work, do the program. And recognize that the more you do the work and do the program, you will get strengthened to battle times when you're tempted to go back to the old PMO cycle, porn masturbation orgasm cycle, or the FMO, fantasy masturbation orgasm cycle, or go back to any other tempting patterns that were your nature of addiction. Without a recovery plan, you have a relapse plan. If you don't have a clear recovery plan that you are following up on and following through on, you have a relapse plan, because no plan to recover is clear plan to repeat the relapse cycle. Now you notice that the next 2 pages are actually a document that I put together in 9 years ago. And this is designed to help a person analyze when they do act out, when they do relapse. This is a sexual integrity relapse report. And so people that I am in counseling with, I ask them to fill this out if they do happen to relapse. Recognize that in your early recovery, there'd be more tendency to relapse than as you get farther along and you learn. So as time goes by, you'll have less need of this document here, for sure. But this is designed to be a thorough analysis of what happened when you relapsed, what was going through your head, what was the circumstances. It's a deep dive of a temptation analysis and a failure analysis, a relapse analysis, so you can learn all you can and fall forward. If you learn from your mistakes, what will happen is that you will get stronger even through your failures, because you are analyzing them and looking at them. And I'm telling you, this needs to be talked through with your accountability partner and your counselor. And if you do have a relapse, it'd be a good idea to have a session or two with your counselor again, to say, hey, listen, I want to figure this out, and I did this relapse report. Help me look at it and see. And because I did this originally in 2016, when I went through the document here to attach it, I actually redid it. And so this is a 9-year update. This is a 2025 rendition, as I've just made some slight improvements to the original wording, and that it's clearer and hopefully more helpful. But the whole point of this is that you can, with the help of others people who will help you see the things that you don't see yourself, that you answer these questions, and then sit down with your accountability partner, sit down with your your counselor, and actually talk through these answers here and fall forward. Learn all you can from every mistake that happens. And what an incredible difference that will make. And so my prayer is that there would be a willingness on your part to fall forward, to learn all you can about your own nature, your own cycle, your own struggles, and then address those things, deal with your soul wounds, and that you will fall forward, that you will, and as you get to the verge of a temptation, that you will call somebody, you'll connect, you'll break the silence to break the power of that addiction push, and that you will invariably have a recovery plan instead of a relapse plan. And for those of you who are tracking well, look at those 10 things that I shared and what is true of your life. And be careful, because scripture is very clear. Be careful, the one who thinks they stand, take heed lest they fall. And so if any of those 10 that you're slacking up on, be careful that you don't set yourself up for relapse because you're on cruise control. Most of you know that, tomorrow morning I'll be an hour and a half with my accountability partner, who he and I have been meeting for 34 years now, every Wednesday morning. And even before that, I was accountable for 8 years for 2 other men in Saskatchewan. So you understand that this accountability to other people is a life skill that you develop, is a life pattern that is locked in for those who desire to be wise and free. And really, I love the line that goes way back to Socrates, but an unexamined life is not worth living. And so I love my accountability partner who knows all my struggles and knows my battles and knows my hurdles. And we examine my life and we examine his life and we go in a direction that it continues to, I call him to greatness and he calls me to greatness. He is my grit and my grace, and I am that for him. And and those who would know us close would know the impact of my life on him and his life on me. And I'm thrilled to have ongoing accountability, my lifelong wingman. And so this is not just a season. Okay, now that I've recovered, 1,000 days clean, I don't need all this stuff. You're foolish. Anyway, may you fall forward, and may this help you in preventing relapse, and may this help you learn from any relapse you do have, that you may go forward in a way that really honors the Lord.